Stephen John Drew from the official GonnaGeek.com show, a weekly geek news podcast that is a part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the show you're checking out now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other awesome geeky shows at GonnaGeekNetwork.com.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 437 of the All Things Good and Nerdy show / podcast / whatever you want to call us. This is recorded live on Sunday, February 28th, 2021, the final day of February, because I believe we're at only 28 days this year. That's your useless knowledge and fact for the day. I'm Chris. Joining me as per usual, we've got the regular crowd. We'll start first with Mr. William D. Nelson.
Finger guns. If we're recorded live, does that mean we can have a live studio audience reaction thing? Like just the woo,
well, I mean,
all that?
I would have to put a studio audience bump in, but yes. Do you want me to do you want me to get an applause light I can put at the top of the screen?
I mean, technically, studios had a machine they called the sweetener that they brought around for that live studio audience sound effect, so we can make it happen, Captain.
Pass. But joining me today also, we've got Mr. Anthony Bachmann.
It's Sunday morning. You know what that means.
I need coffee? That's generally what that means. I haven't had any coffee yet
Sunday.
Today. Is it Sunday fun day?
I don't drink coffee.
It means Brody Lee is with us.
Why don't you drink coffee, Willie?
Because I need it way too sweet, and it seems like a soda would have less sugar than the sugar after.
You don't have to put sweetener in coffee, Willie. It's a choice.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Or just put a more natural thing in there, like stevia or something like that.
Listen, I'm not gonna put Steve's dick in my fucking coffee.
That's how you swizzle it up and stir it.
That's how you stir it, not how you sweeten it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to burn his dick.
He's a robot.
McDonald's already
he
got sued for this.
He's a robot. He doesn't care. It just tingles a little bit.
I don't have a robot named Steve. What the
yes,
fuck's
you
your
do.
problem? My robot's named Roberto.
Your robot's name is Steve the Bot.
Roberto.
Steve the Bot.
He's Hispanic.
Steve the Bot has no race because he's a robot.
Now you're going to tell me Bending Rodriguez is not Hispanic too.
That's completely different canon than real life.
He was made in Mexico.
Okay.
And made with love by mom.
Made with love by mom. Well, I was made in South Carolina. Does that make me a South Carolinian?
Yes.
No, it doesn't. I spent less than 2 years of my life in South Carolina.
You were born there.
I don't claim it, and it doesn't claim me.
South Carolina's not that bad. It has Myrtle Beach.
And that's where I was born.
North Myrtle Beach.
I'm from Myrtle, Willie. It's where I was born.
North Myrtle Beach.
You are a turtle.
You know?
You're from Myrtle. You are a turtle.
I don't know these things. I claim the internet is my home. That's my home. No, I don't actually claim the internet is my home. Please don't ever ascribe that to me, anyone.
The internet's not a home.
Yes, it
Chris,
is.
clip that.
Oh no, I can't find the button. However will I cope? I cannot find the button.
Damn it. I've been killed. It doesn't work.
I mean, I can find other buttons if you want.
No. Let's talk about something else.
What do you want to talk about then, Willie, before we get into the meat of things?
I want to talk about something dark and sinister.
I was afraid he was going to say sexy for a second there. Dark and sexy, I was afraid of.
And dare I say, slightly sexy?
I should have known better. This is on me. I apologize,
Slightly.
But Willie, why don't you take us down this dark and sinister path?
All right, so I heard this theory, and I like it about WandaVision, but it's from a couple episodes back, so there are spoilers if you're a little bit behind. But this is from like episode 3, so you should be good by now. Because I mean, what the hell you do when you have all this time? If not, Chris will figure out something to do. Fix it in post. But yeah. So Wanda had kids, right? She gave birth to kids.
Correct.
And there were no other kids till that Halloween episode showing up, right?
Correct.
Yep.
When Monica went in, her clothes got changed to from like her Kevlar got changed to pretty much fit into all her outfit, right?
Yes, it was modified. Her clothes that she was wearing on the outside were modified to fit in with the world in which she had been placed.
But
Which-
yeah,
would
using
it
the
really
materials
make it-
that she brought in.
Well, would it really make the whole outfit bulletproof? I don't think that's how Kevlar works.
Well, no,
But it's magic.
the fact is
Whatever.
that she was wearing bulletproof armor. Her outfit contained Kevlar, and then when it was altered to look like a 1960s outfit with a shirt, a blouse, and pants, those pants were then made out of the Kevlar material because Scarlet Witch didn't create the material; she just altered it.
I don't know, but I'm just saying, if you stretch out Kevlar to be the entire outfit from what was already there, it doesn't seem like it'd hold up as well as it should. It should
Magic.
do as well as it. I know, that's why I said magic earlier.
Yeah.
Chaos magic.
Yeah, chaos magic.
So, what
Very
if these
specific.
kids are rearranged other kids?
Well, I mean, there's two. What do you mean by that? That they are brainwashed kids that were already in the bubble?
Rearranged.
Yeah, explain what you mean by that.
Taken apart and put back together
Okay.
into her image.
Well, she didn't do it to any other person, so why would she only do it for those two kids? That makes no sense.
Because she wanted I don't know. Why did she want children? Oh, maybe that might be explained in the
Because
next
she
episode.
wants
I don't know.
family.
Family and normality is what she's been striving for.
And so, what would she do to get that family?
She would invent children and make them out of nothing, which is what she did.
Or reassembled other kids.
No, because her childhood trauma defines her as Wanda Maximoff and her brother. It ended up leading to them living through the experiments to give them powers. Therefore, she would never do anything to traumatize children. That's why there were no children there until the Halloween episode. I think she had them all asleep in their bed at home, but she wasn't fucking with their heads.
Well, we don't know that for sure. We
know
don't know where
weren't
they were.
We know they weren't anywhere in town that was visible until the Halloween episode.
I mean, it is plausible that in theory, perhaps she wasn't trying to have the kids involved at all. But, you know, since Agatha was involved all along, that was one other button she could push that would help to unravel Wanda's control a little bit, is add all of those extra minds to her that she would have to have control over.
More people for her to control.
So these children are just going to be disappeared by the end of this, right?
Well, I mean, if they're like out of the comics, they were made out of a piece of the soul of the devil. So they weren't really real to begin with in the comics. So my guess is we're going to find out they're not real at the end of WandaVision also.
Yeah.
And that they are returned to their original form or whatnot.
Because I'm trying to remember in the comics, I think at one point they just disappeared them. They said, hey, they never existed. Wanda made up these kids. They were fake. But then later on, they brought them back with a different writer, I believe. And we got Speed and Wiccan because they are Young Avengers.
Well, they were remade as part of House of M, I think, is what came out of it all, or something like that. Isn't that how they
Could
came
be.
into being? Is that when reality was rewritten post House of M, she subconsciously recreated
She
the
brought
kids
them
or
back.
something?
Yeah, because I think at some point, they originally said, oh, hey, the kids you had with Vision were just fake. You made them up because you're crazy. And then, they disappeared. And then, maybe that's right. Maybe post House of M, they came back.
I tend to think that the kids are... Willie, have you watched the most recent episode before I say what I'm about to say?
Yes. Are we going to spoil the last episode?
Yeah, we're
The
going
current
to...
last
Yeah,
episode?
there's spoiler
Current
warnings in there
spoilers.
for anyone who's watching it in the chat room right now. But here is why I think the children are created. Because we've already seen Wanda create other people that are
Yeah.
in the Hex. Let's just leave it at that. So she
Wait.
has the ability to...
No, we haven't.
Yes, we have.
Yes, we have.
I would say a caveat for that one because of something else. Are we really getting to spoilers?
Just let's stop being vague about it. I'm talking about the fact that it's shown in episode 8 that Wanda creates Vision inside the Hex.
Yeah. The Vision in the Hex is not his animated corpse. It is literally a brand new Vision that she makes out of thin air.
Which
And
explains
what
why he has no memories
color
of his
is
past.
it when it comes out of her?
It's the
It's
same
normal.
color as the gem.
Well,
Exactly. That's
black
what I'm
and white.
thinking. Maybe it's part of the Mind Stone's power that's coming out of her that's making a recreation. It's not really her that's making it. And it's kind of partly is Vision. I don't know. Maybe we might be getting Vision back by combining
remember,
the other thing
she's-
with that thing.
She's psychic to an extent, and there was the whole line that we had in Infinity War, and then we actually got kind of a callback to here, which was "I can feel you," being his mind and his presence, and she no longer could because the gem was gone. This gets us into the thought of, okay, how much work did Shuri get done before Thanos ripped the gem out of his head, where she could have made Vision independent of it? Or did they make a copy of it? Is there a partial copy of Vision floating around at Wakanda? Stuff like that.
And that's what I really enjoyed the conversation that Vision had with Darcy, with Kat Dennings, when she's basically breaking down his past. He's like, so wait, so I was an AI construct named Jarvis, but then my physical form is an Ultron bot, but then I had the Mind Stone. So what am I now?
I mean, and to be fair, that version of Vision wouldn't know either, because remember, all he knows is everything from the point he was created going forward.
Yeah.
He doesn't have memories of anything because Wanda didn't imbue him with that. And if you were going to talk about memories that may have been left behind in a shell, those are in the Vision corpse that's been reanimated.
Yeah, and also it kind of throws something else into question. So Vision gets the skull crushed in his head. Thanos whoops everyone's ass and teleports away. And Captain America, Wanda, and everybody just walk off from the battlefield and leave the $3 billion
Wanda was
chunk.
blipped.
Well, yeah, Wanda was blipped.
Oh yeah, Wanda was blipped. So yeah, so Cap, War Machine, Hulk, and the rest of them just walk away from the battlefield and leave the $3 billion synthezoid laying on the ground.
Well,
The one body that's left there post-fight, they don't pick it up. Sword somehow gets it. But then, now why is Sword telling people that Wanda stole the Vision, and that's their reason for being outside of Westview, when we now know that that's a lie?
Oh, because the director guy, whoever the fuck he is, he's tricking. He's doing all this.
Yeah, she didn't steal a fucking thing.
Because they probably had the thought that Wanda's the only way to bring him back, or something like that. So,
and they were right.
And now they can justify their actions in Westview by being like, well, Wanda stole the Vision, or something to that effect, and nobody knows.
The important thing is now we have White Vision.
I mean,
hey, racism is still a thing here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. We get the whitest character in comics. Motherfucker got white skin, white eyes, white costume, white as shit.
Yeah, which takes us
whiter than the Moon Knight.
Takes us to that quote we've had from Paul Bettany going around in circles, which was he looked forward to working to an actor that he'd never had the chance to work with before, and that it was somebody he'd been looking forward to working with for a long time. Did he mean himself?
Could be.
I mean, so step back a second, going back to the body. There's a few trains of thought going around, one of which is, why didn't the Wakandans take it? Because it's a bunch of stolen vibranium. Followed up by, okay, if the Avengers took the body, perhaps they entrusted it to Sword because, Wanda's in with Carol is in with the director. They're friends at that point in time. They've been friends for years. S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't exist, and the Avengers are effectively disbanded, so someone needs to protect the $3 billion sentient synthezoid that is arguably the most powerful weapon in the world. So let's trust it to what's the Elder Rambo's name? I just forgot all of a sudden.
Photon?
Yeah. Monica's mom. So why don't we entrust it to her organization? Because there is no S.H.I.E.L.D., there is no Nick Fury, and Carol says that we can trust this person, and the Avengers headquarters we basically saw was Black Widow living there, coordinating actions across the galaxy with a bunch of other folks, and most of the rest of the Avengers had kind of just given up.
Yeah.
So they weren't really well equipped to be able to protect the body of the synthezoid Vision. So if Wakanda is not going to take it, you entrust it to someone that another Avenger trusts.
It still seems really weird that Wakanda wouldn't just take it and melt it down.
Well, remember, Wakanda had also just lost their king for the second time in like 2 years.
A little tangent just popped in my head. They really took to space travel like it's nothing really quickly, didn't they? Like, just from being earthbound for their whole lives, saying, "Oh, fuck space! Oh, we're good with that. Fuck it, let's do that. Yeah, whatever."
Well, I
Who
mean,
cares?
the implication they're giving, and we'll probably find out more in Captain Marvel 2 and things like that, is that the Elder Rambo has been working with the Skrulls that were the good Skrulls that we met in Captain Marvel 1, and that's kind of what was the birth of a lot of these outer space things and the birth of Sword and why Nick Fury is up there now. So
No, I was just thinking of like Black Widow. Yeah, she's just sitting there talking to these people in space. Like, yeah, space, whatever.
Well, do you
Who
really
cares?
think? Yeah, let's be
Whoop-de-doo.
Do you really think that's something that's going to really miff the Black Widow, though? Nothing really miffs her. It's like, okay, this is the new normal. Let's move forward.
She's been murdering people since she was 14.
Person. I was thinking, as a person, you'd be like, huh. So we're just traveling through space and nothing. Okay, whatever.
And let's be honest, it's not like this is new to them. The very first Avengers movie, they fought a bunch of aliens from space. So the thought that there are people that can traverse the stars is really nothing new. They just hadn't done it yet.
I know, but just like the acceptance of it, just going with it so quickly is like, you would think, like, this is so weird. I'm talking to people in a different solar system. This is fucking crazy.
Let's also bear in mind that that's a 5-year from now glimpse that we get. They've had time to adjust to that new.
It would take me 15 years to be like, okay, this is normal now.
Yeah, but you're not Natasha Romanoff.
Yeah, and she also flat out says in the movie, someone talks about something being weird, and she says, "I get emails from a raccoon." Like, what's weird?
Yeah. But I can pretty much.
Enough.
I'm kind of hoping that Doctor Strange ends up in the end of WandaVision as we go back to it, but I'm kind of thinking that's not the case now. They did supposedly, if you look real
I don't know
close,
what the fuck to do.
tease the new Scarlet Witch costume, which you can supposedly see in her
It's
reflection.
not even a tease. Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah, I've
flat
seen it brightened up where you can see it perfectly clear.
Yeah.
I've seen it all.
Well,
Even
that-
like little details on the costume, like the belt buckle and like
Well,
the,
that and I like the fact
the
that Catherine Hahn
piece.
actually gives her code name.
Yeah.
Saying that because she uses chaos magic, that makes her a Scarlet Witch.
Well, there's all sorts of things I didn't start realizing until like 2 weeks ago, which is, okay, Scarlet Witch's magic is red. Why is the hex a purpley color? Oh, we find out it's because Agatha's magic is a bluish purple. So the two magics mix together and make the color that we see of things outside. I was like, okay, this makes sense. So I still think that Agatha, to an extent, is pulling the strings some, but I don't know that she's 100% evil like they want us to think either. I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to read into it too much.
I have no idea where they're going with this.
That's what I enjoy about
There's
it.
going to be another bad guy.
Is there 9 episodes or 10 episodes?
Next
more do we have
episode is
going?
the finale. It's
one
9.
more.
So there's only one more.
Is
Okay.
it going to be a full hour, or is it just 30 minutes? Like
42 minutes, I think they said. 45
the rest? So a little
minutes.
bit long.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a good long one.
Probably we'll have a post-credits scene for Doctor Strange, if I had to guess.
Hopefully.
Or whenever that's going to come out. Who knows?
And then Spider-Man Homeboy.
Oh, that's definitely coming out Christmas, so we're good.
Mm-hmm.
But is Doctor Strange going to be coming out before that?
Doctor Strange, I thought
Is it
was
even
slated-
shot?
No, it's not. I think they entered production and they've been filming, but Spider-Man's ahead of schedule on them.
Okay.
Well, plus, you got to figure Doctor Strange is going to have a lot more post-production work than Spider-Man.
It's going to be trippy as hell.
I mean,
Spider-Man
good
is more,
news is,
CGI taking out wires and stuff, where Doctor Strange is more putting in actual CGI effects.
I mean, we do have the actual title for Spider-Man, at least.
That's what I said, Spider-Man Homeboy.
No.
Spider-Man Home Slice?
No. I did enjoy the trolling they did, which was all of the stars of the movie posting different pictures on Instagram of what the title of the movie was. Because the internet took it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, Spider-Man phone home.
Yeah. The first one that got posted, the internet took it hook, line, and sinker and started bitching already. I'm like, I don't think this is actually it. And then I just laughed when they posted 3 more titles out there. I was like, okay, this is pretty fun. Keep screwing with the internet. I like it.
Right now on IMDb, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is marked as filming and expected March 25th, 2022. Yeah. So they don't have a set date just because, it's the new crazy world that we live in.
So Spider-Man comes first. So they'll do something in Spider-Man that also leads into Multiverse of Madness. Be it who knows what. We know what the rumors are.
Spider-Verse.
And if it's still radioactive, he's the only one that comes.
I don't know. I'm curious what happens there because
Huzzah!
this is the last movie Tom Holland's under contract for. He said he'd do more, but who
Oh.
knows if Marvel and Sony will make a deal again. This could be the last.
I'm really gonna be happy to see that kid get paid. He's gonna get some Robert Downey Jr. money. Like that boy's gonna get paid.
Oh, you mean Nathan Drake himself?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's awesome. It's like, have you seen like the charity stuff that like he already has his own charity organization that he runs with his brothers. Like the kid's like what, like 22. He looks like he's 12 still. He could do 10 more Spider-Man films and not look out of age. And he could do 10 more films and still not look as old as Tobey Maguire did in the first film he did. And yet, yeah, like he's just such a good kid. Like he's literally visiting children's hospitals in costume. Like nobody has to do that shit. And like this kid he seems to love what he's doing, have a blast doing it, and like, is doing things to try to make the world a better place. I hope he gets a fucking $100 million contract. I hope he gets a Robert Downey Jr. contract with back end on the next 3 Spider-Man films.
I don't know that we're going to have Spider-Man in the MCU after this movie, which is what concerns me.
Yeah, you got to worry about Sony there.
At this point, they already did fucking. Once you bring in multiple dimensions and throw in the Spider-Verse and then the multiverse of madness, you just change him to fucking Peter Parkour from fucking 618, and you just recast Tom Holland as that Peter.
I don't think it works that way.
You tell Sony to eat a dick.
Yeah, sadly, I don't think it works that way, but we'll see what happens. There's tons of time remaining to see how it all shapes up. I mean, and John Watts is going to be busy post Spider-Man because he's also got the Fantastic Four movie. It's already been announced that he's the director of the Fantastic Four.
I
remember people were speculating. That fucking he's gonna be showing up as Reed Richards, and that never fucking happened.
That's part
now
of
I'm just let down.
So we won't go back into spoilers on WandaVision. Well, that was part of the fun of WandaVision is all the theorizing. And then even though I'm not necessarily right on some of it, be like, I'm okay with this, or okay, well done. I enjoyed the week that we all had where everyone's in their Discord channels theorizing, okay, here's what this might mean, here's what this could mean, here's where it may go. Who knows what's going to happen? That's what I've really enjoyed about WandaVision. And I think this is, dare I say it, why it sort of makes sense for the Disney Plus Marvel shows to not be all at once, but to do them a week at a time. Because look at how much hype with this and like Mandalorian they've built. Just drop an episode and then everyone analyzes it to death, says, here's what I like, here's what I didn't, here's what I think is going to happen going forward. And nobody's really mad about the fact that they've been wrong either. That's the thing. Like, I've been wrong probably about 80% of my guesses of what's going to happen in WandaVision. I'm totally okay with it because they just keep screwing with my head a little bit to make me think here's what's going to happen. And I go, oh, it's not what I expected, but damn, I really like it.
Yes, I'm a huge fan of like the Netflix thing of, hey, here's a season of a show, binge the fuck out of it. I love it. Like, when like Lucifer drops, like, hey, here's 8 episodes, and I can go and sit and just spend a whole Saturday watching a season of a show. It's fantastic. But at the same time, if Disney Plus had done that on The Mandalorian or with fucking WandaVision, it all would have been spoiled on the internet within 6 hours of it going live.
Yeah.
And like, if the entire WandaVision show was on Twitter before you got to come home from work and watch an episode, it would have sucked. Like, it would have been spoiled for so many different things would have been spoiled for so many people. It would have been awful. And they have literally made it like what used to be called the water cooler shows. These are the shows that everybody's talking about on Monday when they're in their Zoom chats for work. Because, nobody's at work, but, as close as we get to water cooler chat anymore. But, Mandalorian did it first, and now WandaVision's doing it. It's literally the show that people watch and then everybody talks about.
So, dare I blaspheme here? I almost think that you shouldn't watch WandaVision as a binge the first time you watch it.
Yeah, because it works better like with some time to think about it.
Or if you were going to binge it, you'd be binging it in small arcs. I don't think you'd want to watch all 9 episodes in one go.
I would. I'm tired of waiting.
I mean, there's something to be said for that, but I think the conversation that comes out, I don't know, it's tough. I think it plays
better.
Right now.
Yeah, I think it plays better having downtime in between each episode.
And you know what? I think it's finally paying off to be a Disney Plus subscriber too. Because remember, I think we even to a lesser extent kind of ripped on it at first. Like, yeah, there's a whole load of content, but there's not like this new must-see stuff when Disney Plus started, like a year ago? I mean, at this point in time, you go and look at the Marvel schedule, and there's new Marvel content for the next year basically coming out on Disney Plus that's already scheduled out. All the Star Wars stuff coming. So while
those of us that bought the first 3 years, it was like, I bought 3 years of it, but the only show I got is Mandalorian. Which, okay, I love Mandalorian, but did I really pay this much for just that show? And then, with WandaVision and now, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like, we're getting some good stuff.
And Loki.
Oh, yeah, and Loki. Which, why are we not
Loki.
seeing, like, trailers for Loki yet?
They're doing
Like, how
they already showed one.
far behind?
Because they're trying to let these shows breathe on their own, I think, right now. And we've been getting stuff for Falcon and Winter Soldier because that's the next one up.
Yeah.
So Loki's after Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think. So wait until we're about halfway through that, and then we'll probably start getting more of that.
And then when does the What If come out? I don't know.
Is that before Loki or after? I don't know. The schedule's online, and I don't remember it off the top of my head. It's within the next calendar year. I want to say it's after Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, it's obviously afterwards.
No, yes. I mean after Loki is what I meant to say. Sorry.
Yeah, series premiere is only listed as this year, 2021 on IMDb, so apparently they haven't set an official date yet. Yeah, and I'm still really looking forward to that because, The What If is one of my favorite series of books, and the fact that you can basically do anything on that show is awesome.
And it's Chadwick Boseman's last appearance as T'Challa.
No.
In any Marvel content.
Which will be cool.
So I'm excited about another show that comes out the next month, technically.
What's that show?
It was one of Bachmann's news stories a while back that we keep talking about a little bit.
Invincible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I ordered the first compendium. You say the word right in your own head.
The first what?
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, no, Invincible looks so good. They released a 5-minute preview.
I saw it.
Which, is so solid, and you get to actually see Mark at school. You get to see some of the changes that they made from the comics. One of the characters that originally in the comics was a closeted gay man is fully out as a gay character in high school at the start of the show now. So it's one of those things that's like, certain character arcs are going to be altered. I believe they introduced the character of Amber, who was a white girl in the show and is now an African-American in the cartoon. So slight variations, no huge changes, but little things that are different. But it looks so good. And just, the voice talent involved in Invincible, it's going to rival the new He-Man show as the best voice cast in, anything. They got a voice cast to rival the Justice League cartoon. It's going to be amazing.
Doesn't beat DuckTales.
We'll see. We'll see.
And it will definitely not beat Teen Titans Go at the movies.
We'll see.
Because Nick Cage was Superman.
Dude, we got Michael Dorn as Battle Beast. I don't know how much anything can be cooler than that. And
Nick Cage is Superman.
J.K. Simmons playing Omni-Man is one of the best castings of all time.
No, the best casting of all time would have to be J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson.
That's live
Hands
action,
down.
not animated.
He was in one of the cartoons as Jonah also.
Yeah, he is great.
Although Ed Asner as J. Jonah Jameson in the 90s Spider-Man is pretty great too.
Yeah, his voice work on that was awesome.
Yeah, just saying.
But yeah, next month, starting tomorrow, it'll be March. And so starting tomorrow, it will be Invincible month. Oh,
no one can die next month?
That's right. No one can die next month. Have all the fun you want. Jump off your house. Have a good day.
Heard that? Promises made by that guy right over there saying you can't die. Do what you want, kids.
I did it. I said it.
Your friends jump off a bridge. Are you going to? Hell yeah, because there ain't no consequences next month, bitches.
Just like the Lost Boys. Go have some fun.
Yeah, but they were douchebags. If you're going to be an asshole, at least don't be a douchebag.
Yeah, well.
Kiefer Sutherland was piece of shit in that movie.
He's Jack Bauer, damn it.
It's rice, Michael. How could a billion Chinese people be wrong?
Just call him Jack.
No, I've never seen it.
You've never seen 24?
I don't care to either.
I mean, I'm not saying you have to. It's odd because it was such a cultural touchstone when it first came out that like everyone was all about 24.
Never watched it.
That's fine. I mean, you're missing out on some fun stuff.
Yeah,
some of
the
it didn't really-
original,
right.
that original season was fantastic.
How many seasons were there?
8?
I don't know. I think Jack Bauer went through like 8 days. Yeah, he lasted like a week.
Well, the last 24 series didn't have Jack in it either. They did like a spin-off with someone else.
Jimmy Renner took over.
Yeah.
No,
It was
not that
Jeremy
time.
Renner.
Curse you, Jeremy Renner. Always taking over for people. We want a Matt Damon.
He was in the Mission Impossible ones too, about the same time he was in the
Uh-huh.
Matt Damon Bourne movies.
Wait, he was in with Matt Damon?
No, excuse me, when he took over the Bourne movies from Matt Damon.
Oh, I never watched the Bourne movies either.
No. Oh man, the Bourne movies are
Spy
fun.
shit, espionage shit. It's kind of hit and miss with
That
me.
was kind of the rebirth of the shaky cam for fight scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was the Bourne movies.
Yeah, the terrible ones.
Their fight scenes are awesome, actually.
Yeah,
the
no,
Bourne
theirs
movies.
were good because they made Matt Damon look like a badass because of the way they did the fight choreography and the way they shot the film. But then after that movie, everybody's like, "Oh, you just do quick cuts and you shake the camera, and that's how you make a fight scene look good." So is what once again, other filmmakers looking at a good film and taking the wrong information from it and trying to apply it to their films.
We'll get a plug in here. They don't actually need it. If you want to see cool fight scene stuff, though, Corridor Crew has their stunt people react. They do like once a week or once
Yeah,
every
they
other
made
week.
fun of the Bourne movies.
That's fine. You got to look at the Bourne movies through the lens of when they came out, though. Fight choreography's changed since then.
I don't remember which one they were even talking about either. I remember a
They're-
house blowing up.
They were probably talking about one of the later ones, like the third or fourth one. Because, yeah, I don't think the Corridor Crew would have been talking shit about the first one. The first one had solid fight choreography all the way through it. And, yeah, they really did make Matt Damon look good on film.
Well,
Like,
that's
they
not
made
hard
Jason
to do at all.
Bourne.
It's Matt Damon, goddammit.
He's a
Well,
handsome
it's hard to
man.
make him look like a badass. Matt Damon is not a badass.
He sciences
But in
the
that
shit out of
first-
things. I don't know what you're talking about.
In that first Bourne movie, they made him look like a badass in the fight scenes, and that was because of the fight choreography. Their stunt coordinator on that film was a genius.
Wasn't he Loki, the god of death or the angel of death?
Yep.
In Dogma,
He was.
looked
Yeah,
like
it
a pretty
wasn't-
badass there.
There wasn't really much action in that movie either.
I mean, it was still kind of cool.
I mean, when he kills a boardroom with a gun, it's off camera. When he shoots a guy on a bus, it's off camera. You actually don't actually see him do anything as Loki other than get drunk once his wings are gone.
I mean, I'd be mad if my wings were gone too. I'm just gonna say
I mean,
it
yeah.
would be a problem, and I would be very sad. Very.
I wouldn't
very
want to
sad.
transubstantiate to form full human form. I'd rather stay an angel.
Nothing wrong with that. That being said, though, we're like 30 minutes into the show. Maybe it's time that we transition into the actual news part of things. What do you guys
Maybe.
think? Time for some news?
If we have
Hey.
to.
All right, news time.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Welcome to the news of the week. It's that part of the show where we run down our minds some of the most interesting, geeky, and or nerdy news to have popped up here in the past week and share it with you guys who are watching the show or listening to the show or consuming it in whatever way you want. And I'm in the wrong screens. I just realized I put us in the quad view. There's no quad this week. There's only 3 of us.
Put me on there twice.
Oh, nobody wants that.
No.
Nobody wants that, Willie.
Nobody wants a double Willy.
You don't know that. I've seen a lot of videos that tell me otherwise.
All right, so let's move on with the news. And there's some gaming news I wanted to touch on first, and I'll power through because I had like 4 stories to touch on real quick through here. Really, that grin is disturbing to me right now. But I'll start things off to say, out of the 4 bits of gaming news, there was one that dropped last week that had been rumored for about 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Right, that this decision was coming. EA has officially canceled and ceased development on Anthem Next, also called Anthem
Wait, what?
2.0. They had
What?
they had dedicated a small team internally to making enhancements to Anthem to potentially try and fix it, make it right, as what they had said. I mean, we're talking small team, probably like 10, 15 people max.
Yeah.
And they were supposedly
released new like promo art, like concept art, new designs for javelins, like actual work was done, and now they're just canceling it.
Yeah.
So this is new news?
This is actually
Yes.
new news because EA had come out mid last year and said they were putting work into Anthem Next. They were going to fix what was wrong with it. They had not said whether it would be a free upgrade or you have to pay for the new version of it, anything like that, but that they were going to fix Anthem and make it work. And it was announced on February 24th, quote, "In the spirit of transparency and closure, we wanted to share we've made the difficult decision to stop our development work on Anthem, aka Anthem Next. We will, however, continue to keep the Anthem live service running as it exists today." And if you have played the game, you know that that means once you've beat the campaign, there's not much to do.
You're pretty much done.
That was the biggest
basically
problem.
they're abandoning it after promising to fix it and upgrade it for about 2 years.
After originally promising, what, like an 8 to 10 year lifespan on Anthem, basically? Game as a service kind of thing?
Yep. Yeah, there's going to be a game service with a 10-year lifespan. Then it's like, oh, well, we're going to do an upgrade. Oh, well, now we're doing nothing.
Part of the reasoning is COVID and the way staffing things have changed, which that's legitimate. But I think this is just a way for them to kind of wash their hands and realize there wasn't a way for them to bring it back and to actually make it into a service that they make money off on. So why bother? They can reallocate the people that were on the Anthem Next team to working on the new Mass Effect, to working on Dragon Age. And it has been theorized by people who are smarter than I in the industry that this is kind of a sign that BioWare is going back to focusing on the franchises that they haven't killed yet. So that would be Dragon Age and Mass Effect, to try and make those right to ensure that they continue going forward. So probably doesn't surprise anyone, but Anthem Next is ending, and it is the r/Anthem the game subreddit is incredibly salty. But part of me is sitting there going, what did you really expect to happen? They announced this, and then we'd heard nothing for months besides some concept art. So now they're all really mad because they'd gotten all these I stand with Anthem hashtags and stuff going. And they're like, oh, go play the game. Go make microtransaction purchases because right now EA is looking. That's a drop in the bucket. They're not going to care what happened in the last 2 weeks compared to the last 2 years of what people have been paying for and things like that. I get that there's a lot of people that are upset the game is gone, but come on. The writing has been on the wall.
Is that really the hill you want to die on, is for Anthem?
There's some
people are hoping for it to be the new fucking No Man's Sky.
I'm not going to judge here. I'm not going to judge here. People find games they like and they may not resonate with everyone. And there's a lot of people, a small group of people, but still a lot of them in comparison to, say, like us on the show of 3, that are talking about how much they really love the game. They play it all the time. They've invested hundreds of hours into it and things like that. And that's awesome. And I feel bad for them that they are going to have to realize and come to grips with the fact that this game that they love, they're going to keep the servers running, but they didn't say how long. So you got what, like a year or 2 left of Anthem probably, until they can look at it and go, okay, the cost of keeping these servers up doesn't make sense based off the number of people who are playing and also pumping microtransaction bucks into the game. And to be honest, if I were someone who were playing the game right now, there would be no money going into microtransactions because it's a dead game at this point.
Yeah, very dead. You did bring up something else about Dragon Age. Didn't they say they were changing how that game was going to play? Like it was going to be like a multiplayer game, and now they're changing it back to like a single player game?
So one of the stories I had read, and I think this came from Bloomberg, so it was probably Jason Schreier, who originally
Bloomberg.
Jason Schreier used to work for Kotaku, I think it was, and he's been really plugged in with both the Cyberpunk stories as of late and a lot of the BioWare stories. And it was something to the effect of, based off the success of Jedi Fallen Order being a single player only game with no multiplayer pieces, and the eventual shuttering of Anthem, EA/BioWare have finally come to an agreement that, hey, the next Dragon Age should probably just be like what the other Dragon Age games were, which is an awesome single player story that doesn't have all these different multiplayer hooks that requires a bunch of other people to play. So they are supposedly yanking all of those enforced multiplayer chunks out of the new Dragon Age game, which I'm okay with because that's not the kind of game I wanted from them to begin with for a BioWare RPG.
Yeah, I haven't really played Dragon Age since the first one.
I mean, I guess the math comes down to this for them, which is if you do games as a service and you pull it off, you can make money for a much longer period of time. Or you can do a really kick-ass single-player game, make a crap load of money when it comes out, have word of mouth go around, and have people keep buying it and talking about it a year after it came out. Then have it added to things like Xbox Game Pass, which brings in more money and more subscribers and things like that. The thought there is games as a service is great, but if you don't pull it off just right, you invest a lot of money to recoup no money on it. And if you can pull off a good single-player game, which people want right now, there's a big demand for it. It makes you some more money. I don't know. It was interesting to me. I would much rather see that type of BioWare game without the enforced multiplayer pieces. But I'm biased because I love the Mass Effect trilogy, which has very, very limited multiplayer in the third game, which was actually fun, though, because it was like a horde mode kind of game. Oh, well, Willie didn't like it. I got a few other stories I wanted to bring up. This is one coming from the Blizzard side of the house. We already know Diablo 4 is being worked on, but they did their BlizzCon online 2 weeks ago, I guess, at this point in time, where they announced Diablo 2 Resurrected. Diablo 2 is one of my favorite Diablo games of all time, one of my favorite Blizzard games. They are bringing it back on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and I believe I said Windows PC. And they are basically going to take all of the 2D sprites, paint over them with fully 3D rendered models, scales up to 4K resolution, a toggle to go back to the original graphics if that's what you want, also 7.1 surround sound support, and they remastered all of the cutscenes. So it's basically everything that was in Diablo 2 updated to be playable now.
Yeah, I'll believe that. Sure, they're doing that. Let's not forget about Warcraft 3.
They showed the footage at BlizzCon. They've already done it.
Yeah, sure. I believe it. You know what I'm talking about, right?
It's Willie
drunk.
You
know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't you remember when they did that to Warcraft 3? Was it last year or the year before? And they said, we're going to do all this stuff, and all of it's shit. And even if you had the old version of it, they upgraded the old version. They had an update where it made it the new version, and everyone's like, no, I want the old version back. Don't fuck with my shit.
Well, all this literally is what they do with Halo Combat Evolved for its 10th anniversary. They cleaned things up, made it look better, changed nothing about the gameplay, and they give you a switch to basically go back and forth between what it appeared like originally and what the updates are. It's like what they did for the anniversary edition of Halo.
What is it? Let's not also forget. What was I thinking of? Oh yeah, and Diablo. Whatever happened to the mobile game that they were going to come out with? That they announced.
They're still developing.
Don't you have a what? Don't you have a phone? What people? Why are you booing us?
Really, they're still making it, and most of the people still don't want it. I don't think.
Yeah, it's just like they fucked up way too much. Stop fucking up, Blizzard. Stop taking away people's winning purses.
This is a good story.
Just because of how they feel about Hong Kong.
Willie, this is a good story that I'm giving you. One could argue this is them not fucking up.
I don't believe it till it's released, and it is what they said it is. That's it.
Okay.
I will not believe it. Goddamn word Blizzard says.
That's fair. The original Diablo 2 launched back in June 2000, so we're 21 years later. And they did announce that Diablo 2 Resurrected will feature cross-progression for saves, meaning you can play on any of your systems, be able to open your saves on any of them. It will cost $40 when it launches later this year.
Yeah, Chris, for you, definitely look up to that Warcraft 3. What happened with that?
I don't care about Warcraft 3.
It's interesting. I don't care about Warcraft 3 either. I don't care about RTSs. I fucking hate them. But it's an interesting story.
Okay.
About the behind the scenes. Go ahead and look at what Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Why don't you look it up and tell me all about it? Why is this on me to do?
Yeah.
It's your story. Sorry, I thought you would be interested. You know what? Fuck this shit. Mm-hmm. I'm out of here.
Sorry, Willie.
That cross progression sounds good. I wish Behavior would get on that shit.
Sorry, Willie. I got two more things in the world of gaming right now. Willie might not care about one of them. Actually, probably both of them. There was a Pokemon...
I really don't care about both of them, but one of them does seem better than the other.
Yes. Nintendo announced mid last week that on Friday morning Eastern time, I want to say 10 a.m. Eastern, they're doing a Pokemon event to kind of celebrate the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, in which they could showcase some of the upcoming games, some of which include Pokemon Snap. Who gives a crap? I'm not a huge Pokemon Snap fan. There are people who are really excited about it. But they did also announce that they are doing remakes, which was kind of expected and had leaked, of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. The remakes will be called Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, coming in late 2021. Quote, the remakes will retain the game's aesthetic, updated with a very cute, colorful new style. The sense of scale of the original games, towns, and routes have been carefully preserved, they said. Basically, they made they made Pokemon Diamond and Pearl look like the new version of Sword and Shield and put it on the Switch.
But they kept the scale of the cities and everything to the same.
Yeah, well. Damned if you do, damned if you don't on this one. They haven't announced the exact release date, just late 2021. I would assume it'll be out for $60, just like all these other things. It is a port of a game that originally came out in 2006 on the DS in Japan, and then in 2007 in the United States. I believe this is 4th generation Pokemon.
So what you're saying is there's going to be more of the Pokemons.
That's just the first of the new Pokemons. The second one, which is arguably what Willie is more interested in, this is Pokemon.
Actually, no, that one was the one I was more interested in.
Oh, really?
That I still don't really care about either.
The next one is Pokemon Legends Arceus, I believe is how you say it. It is an open world game set in the old Sinnoh region. And they announced that as early 2022. And it looks like Pokemon meets Zelda Breath of the Wild. So it's like open world, capture your own Pokemon, fight with Pokemon. It looked a lot like open world, action adventure, Monster Hunter / Zelda kind of thing.
It looks like what Pokemon on the Switch should have been in the first place.
So why are you complaining about them doing it now?
I'll let you get into it. Or do you have any more like little details about it? Because I'll go ahead and straight up tell you why.
It seems like you're more versed in this topic than I am, so I'll gladly punt over to you.
Oh, I just saw the video, the trailer.
That's all I've
was
seen
like,
too.
Whoa. Yeah, you're talking about like when the Pokemon are moving in the open world, how they're at 5 frames a second, pretty much? You mean that?
Let's also keep in mind this is probably early alpha footage. It's not like this is the final product.
Yeah, and I've seen what they did with the Sword and Shield. They don't really give a shit.
They did after they got all of our money. They stopped giving a shit, rather.
Yeah, they don't give a shit about this. They don't care about the fans. Fuck. Yeah, they need to be pulled away from this. They just need to be pulled away. The license needs to be given to someone else to work on it. Someone who cares about it. Someone who can do a better job at it. Hell, I've seen fan makes do a lot better job.
Is this a different company doing this one?
What is it? The Pokemon company? What's the other company? Game Freak. Yeah. Yeah, it needs to be pulled from them.
They didn't say whether Game Freak was making this one, I don't think.
Well, whoever, they just need to be taken away from it. That's all I know. Whether or not they're doing this one or not, they need, because it seems like they want to do something else. Let them do something else.
So I would caution reading too much into how the game is going to look based off footage for a game that is over a year away from being released. What you get now is meant to convey what it's supposed to look like, or an impression of what it should be close to. Because remember, nothing is ever the same as what we see when it's finally released. We saw it with Cyberpunk. We've seen it with a variety of other things. Often
yeah, especially on the gameplay trailer. Yeah, remember what the gameplay trailers looked like for Anthem? They looked awesome.
And they were fake too.
Yeah, that's true. They were fake. We found out.
Yeah, you remember when you went to the little open, like the hub world, and you got to see so many people walking around, and then when you actually get into the game, it's like, oh, there's a person. Oh, there's another person. Let me go find some other people because I don't know where they all are because they're not here.
Mm-hmm.
No, but you are right. There are some other fan-inspired takes on Pokemon that are really good. I cannot remember the one game that was making the rounds. It was on PC and I think finally came over to PlayStation, maybe? I can't remember the name of the game. I can do some Googling and try and find it.
No idea what you're talking about.
I can't remember the name of the game. Otherwise, you might.
Well, I'm not saying you're wrong either. I'm kind of curious of what you're talking about.
I think it's still technically in beta.
Yeah, but yeah, you did see those 5 frames a second for the Pokemon like flapping its wings. Like, really? That's what you're showing us?
Well, yeah, I mean.
Oh my god! Like this is the best of what you could show us. Okay. And it's supposed
I'm
to take
not as
place in
negative
the
as-
past of the Pokemon world.
Yes.
I do know that.
I'm not as negative on this as you are, Willie. Sorry.
I mean, Sword and Shield just soured me completely. It was a demake. It was a dequel.
That's what it is.
Dequel?
The game I was thinking of is called Temtem.
Okay, I've heard
That's
of that.
supposedly very similar to Pokemon, but done better. Let's see. Temtem is technically not released yet. There's an early access version of
Yeah.
Steam.
I say I know I heard of it, but
Yeah, there's early access on Steam through 2020. It's set to release on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch in the future. It's $35 on Steam currently. Temtem.
It definitely looks.
Or the
It definitely
for
looks
being
like
unreleased.
Pokemon.
Yeah. Sorry, say again, Willie. I couldn't hear you.
It's released on Steam.
It is a pre-release or early
Greenlit.
release on Steam.
Whatever, green light, whatever.
Yeah,
the fuck
so
they call
it's the beta version of it basically.
Temtem, huh?
It looked interesting. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for it to come to Switch. Basically, is how I was going to play it.
So it's going to give Naki flashbacks, is what you're saying.
Well, that was Tim Tom, wasn't it?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that was Tim Tom.
This is Tem.
That's close enough
Tom,
to be
Temtem.
flashbacks.
I mean, it's possible, I guess.
Hmm.
Possible.
It is Temtem. It does. It kind of looks like a really cool version of Pokemon.
And for anyone who does try it now, I think I watched. I want to say it might have been Wood on the Beat 'em Ups channel had done a video on it last year, and it is still a game that is very much like an alpha. Like you'll try and go to some bridges, and the bridges aren't built yet because like, hey, this is part of the game world we haven't built yet. Or you'll try to go into a house, and there's a sign on the door that says, hey, we're not quite open yet. So stuff like that. They're not done yet, but it's enough that you could
It's not
play
released yet.
and
It's
get an idea
understandable.
of what the battle mechanics are and things like that. And people have been pretty complimentary of it so far. Do I think it's going to come and knock Pokemon off its post at the top? Probably not. But I think it could be really fun.
If Sword and Shield taught me anything, is how laissez-faire they are about the whole thing. Like, whatever, who cares?
You act like they haven't been that way for the last 15 years, Willie. I mean, they pretty much put the same game out every 3 years, just add new Pokemon.
Well, I went from Generation 1 to Sun and Ultra Moon. So, yeah, I don't know that fully.
Yeah, I mean, that pretty much Pokemon games are almost the exact same every year.
Yeah, I believe it.
I mean,
It's $40, but yeah, Temtem's got 23,000 reviews on Steam, and it's rated as very positive. So it's looking good.
and we'll be coming to consoles soon for those folks.
And
that
you know
want to
what was
play
a-
that.
You know what was a great monster fighting game? Monster Rancher. That was a great one. Back on the PS1.
And
You
assuming,
Monster
switch
Rancher.
out discs.
assuming I'm
Yeah,
reading
Monster
this
Rancher.
correctly, Haru Fonzix said that was published by Humble Bundle, the Temtem game, perhaps. I might be reading the wrong thing in here. We'll see.
Yeah, but
Okay,
the great
go
thing
ahead,
about
Ray.
Monster Rancher was you could switch to make new monsters. You put in a different disc. You open up your PlayStation tray, and you put in another disc, and it reads the information from that, and it gives you a new monster. And it was unique to that disc. So every time you put in that disc, you get the same monster.
Very nice. Willie, why don't we
and
move on?
every disc, music, DVDs, games, anything. Oh, that's shit in it. Go ahead.
Why don't we move on to the next story here, which is you wanted to tell us about a little movie that you saw.
The greatest movie of the year so far.
It's February
Yeah.
28th as we record this, everyone. Just keep that in mind.
Oh, and I saw this, 2 weeks ago? So factor that into it. Yeah, the bar has been set, and it's been set really fucking high. This movie, I found out 2 weeks before it even came out, maybe 3 weeks. My buddy sent me a trailer. I never even heard of this movie. And I was instantly like, I want to see this movie. I have to see it. And I finally saw it, and it's out. Boom. Greatest movie of the year so far. It's a high bar. A high bar. But yeah, the movie I'm talking about is Willy's Wonderland, starring Nick Cage. The basic premise is it's pretty much Nick Cage in a Five Nights at Freddy's scenario. So it's a movie for Naki. I mean, yeah.
So you're going to gift her a rental of it?
Or I mean, the movie comes out next month? I think month after that. I don't know. I have to look at it because I want to own it. And
They're looking for you, Naki. They're looking for you.
The best quick review
Where'd
of
he
the movie I can do is it explains exactly what it needs to explain, and everything that doesn't explain doesn't really matter to the plot. It's just for the fun. And it does that in a perfect balance. So, like, you get all the exposition that you need. Everything else, you don't need it. I don't even care. Usually I care about stuff like that. This one, I don't. Like, it's perfect. It does it perfectly. I will say, in my own headcanon for the movie, the character Nick Cage plays, he's credited as just the janitor. So in my own headcanon, that's just Nick Cage being Nick Cage in the movie, and no one just recognizes him. That's about it.
I'll go
Headcanon.
with that.
Head
He doesn't have a name. He's just the janitor.
He's
It's
just the
credited.
janitor.
Yeah. Movie is so good. So many just back and forth stares. You see, like, he's just, as soon as he gets to the Willy's Wonderland, he's just staring at the sign, and the camera goes boom, 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 and they do that so many, just hilarious. Oh my god, I couldn't stop laughing the whole movie. Definitely, highly recommend Willy's Wonderland.
So on a thumbs up, thumbs down scale, because let's not get into arbitrary numbers. I'm assuming thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, and my dick's rock hard too.
Jesus.
Is
So
that good enough for you?
He gives it 3 stars.
Out of 3. Actually, out of 2, because that ain't really a thumb either.
I hate my life. I hate it.
He gives it 3 thumbs.
Like, this bar is high set. You guys need to watch this movie. It is all right. Bachmann,
Yeah.
take Mandy and take out that first art housey first.
Take out
part.
the 40-minute art house bullshit
and
intro.
then it's just as wild and crazy, but with more of a comedic flair on the second half of Mandy.
What about like the art direction though? Is it the same like weird color scheme like the last 2 movies he's done, or is this one like a normal film?
What is the last 2 movies he's done? Which
Right
ones
before
are you
Mandy was The Color of Space, where it was the
Oh
purple.
God, I hated that. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's not.
It was the same. It was that same weird like
uh,
color scheme. Like
it's a
Mandy
good
and Color of Space had they both had that same weird color scheme.
I would say Mandy was more of that reddish tone to the Color of Space is purple, because I didn't like Color of Space. I
Yeah,
just
but I
don't
mean,
like
they were both
crafty
massively.
stories.
They were both
I like
massively oversaturated, extreme color effects. Like they both had
Yeah, I know
like
what
that
you're
same visual feel to it, which was just overpowering.
It's not overpowering at all. It's all just it. It does have like a color scheme to it, and it all fits it perfectly. I would say it doesn't stand out to be like a character like it was in both those other movies.
Okay, yeah, because I mean the color scheme is very much a character in those 2 films.
Yeah, and I will say the movie is a little tropey too. There is one part I would probably change because it's a little way too tropey, but I mean I'm still happy and laughing with it. Like, I don't want to spoil anything about what these animatronics are doing or how they're doing it or anything, because it's all in the movie. You just watch it and be enjoyed with your whole life. You can rent it like I did on Vudu. It's $20 to rent, $19.99. I was so happy I did it twice to watch it with different people.
Whoa!
So
So
you're
you spent $40 on it and you don't own it.
It's that damn good.
And because we know he's going to buy it at some point now, so he's going to spend at least $60 on this film. Damn.
That's impressive.
It is the
I'd
best.
call that a
movie
ringing endorsement.
Best movie of the year as of right now. I don't see what could beat it though. Maybe the Snyder Cut. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
No, don't blast.
Definitely not.
You mean the
And
Snyder
plus,
Cut?
I wouldn't really say that's released this year. That's thin ice.
The
I
same
don't
Snyder Cut they just announced ends with a cliffhanger that literally will go to nowhere.
know. I mean, we already knew that was going to happen.
Oh,
anyway.
I know.
Well, the movie starts off going to nowhere, so
Sorry. I'm going to just pause because I have nothing else nice to say about the Snyder Cut, so I should just say nothing at all.
Yeah, I still want to see it just to see it.
I'm saying someone tweeted that there's a cameo in the Snyder Cut that's going to blow my mind. So
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that Grant Gustin shows up and replaces the garbage-suited autistic Flash.
They already
and then
announced
makes
who
a
it
good movie.
is.
No,
Oh, did
no,
they?
I know, no. I know who it is.
Who is
I
it?
know who it is. It's Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern.
It is not. It's Martian Manhunter.
Oh, the Martian Manhunter that was supposedly in the last two Snyder films and did nothing to help anybody at all.
Wrong green person. Wrong green. It's Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern. I'm telling you. Done.
Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern would make more sense the way they did those fucking
yes,
movies.
but Deadpool already traveled in time and retroactively killed off Ryan Reynolds from being able to do that. So Ryan Reynolds can't reprise that role because Deadpool killed him.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean is damn thing at all.
Headcanon.
Ryan Reynolds is killed by Deadpool now.
You know what?
He can't do it.
I will protect your headcanon.
That's right. Ryan Reynolds got rid of his Deadpool, got rid of the Ryan Reynolds that made Green Lantern. It never happened.
Yeah.
I mean, that movie was pretty shitty, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He definitely killed some people in that bar fight.
Yeah.
That giant fist, boom, that definitely killed at least one of those people.
So he'd fit right in the Snyder movies then. Just kill indiscriminately.
I mean,
yeah, heroes that kill indiscriminately.
That's why I think it's better, because fuck Batman's no-kill rule. Just have him fucking kill people.
Martha.
Done.
Martha.
That part was stupid. I will give you that.
Where's Wow?
My mom I have a mom too. We're friends, right?
Well,
I get
you
it.
also
That
saw
part was stupid.
there was more that's come out.
We're going to stop the fight that we never should have had because you said the name of my mom.
I guess he was also wanting to put Batman and Lois in a romance going into Justice League, basically, so that Batman would also have to let his romance go to save the Earth. Yeah, there's a lot of things that DC management went and said, no, you can't do this. That was one of them.
I mean, that would at least be some kind of interesting.
But it doesn't really make sense either, though.
Well, I mean, yeah, they couldn't make the fight between them make sense, so they couldn't I doubt they could have made that love story made sense either.
Yeah, fair. I don't know. What's the Snyder Cut comes out sometime this upcoming month? It's in March, isn't it?
And you know what that means? It means I'm paying for HBO Max for the month so I can watch Godzilla vs. King Kong. And then, if I feel like it, I might view the Snyder Cut. But I sure as fuck ain't paying for it. Yeah, over the course of like 6 days, I'll watch it. Jesus
I'll watch all in one sitting. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm just glad that they're putting out something good this month, so I'm not paying for the Snyder Cut.
I'm just curious how this was. I was never one of those release the Snyder Cut guys. Was never one of them. But I am interested in it. And he kind of deserves to release it too.
Deserves, I will give you, yes, because the reason he was taken out the movie is awful. I will talk a whole lot of shit about Zack Snyder's films and what he has done in movies, because I think the man is an amazing cinematographer. I don't think he should be allowed to direct. I don't think he should be allowed to make the final decision on anything when it comes to storytelling, because he's not a great storyteller. But visually, he makes incredibly visually stunning films. But the reason that he had to leave the Justice League is god-awful. And yeah, hey, the fact that they let him redo it, okay, good for you. I'm fine with that part. I'll never be mad about that. The guy's family went through some awful shit. Like, that's no reason that someone shouldn't get to finish a film.
Yeah, before we move on to the final story, I did just pop on Twitter real quick. Willie Nelson is trending on Twitter, but it is not about our Willie Nelson, and Willie Nelson is alive and well. I have no idea why it's trending, but it's not because Willie Nelson is dead.
Willie D. Nelson is trending on Twitter because he gives something 3 thumbs up.
Hold on a second. I didn't even think that you were going to mention he was dead, until you mentioned that he's still alive. I wasn't even thinking that.
That's the problem. Anytime you see an older celeb trending on Twitter, everyone automatically thinks, "Oh shit, they're dead."
Well, I mean, and Willie knows that he's got to be getting close to his 80s, right?
87.
Oh, he's definitely in his 80s.
Is he in his
not?
80s already?
87, it says on here.
87. Wow.
He was only in his 40s when I was born.
Dudes look like he's been in his 40s since he was 12.
But Willie Nelson is alive and well still, so we are okay, it would appear. He is okay. And our Willie Nelson is okay despite giving a movie 3 thumbs up somehow.
Oh, it's still rock hard.
Title, 3 thumbs up.
3 thumbs up.
Hard.
Let's roll over to you, Bachmann, for the last news this week.
Rock.
All right. Not a huge news story, but for those of us, especially children of the 90s, we remember back when they started making video games into movies, when they very first did it, and we were hit with the greatest techno soundtrack of all time, and Shang Tsung yelled at us about Mortal Kombat. And it's fucking back, baby. Louis Tan just tweeted 4 hours ago They talked about the new Mortal Kombat movie coming, wanting to make the trailer, like break records, and apparently they did. They went nuts. If you add all the sources together, because like IGN hosted it, I think Nerdist hosted it. There's a red band version. There's a whole bunch of new versions of the new Mortal Kombat trailer. If you haven't seen it, it is a fantastic looking trailer. You get, Sub-Zero, you get Scorpion, you get Kung Lao, you get Liu Kang, you get what looks like a really good CGI version of Goro, not a guy in a plastic suit with 4 arms. And then, you get Lewis Tan as a new character, apparently named Mark Cole, who has a dragon tattoo that's a birthmark. So apparently people that are invited to the tournament are like born with the Mortal Kombat logo on them now, which is, weird change of things. But as he put it on his Twitter, game changer, 166 million views and counting. So this trailer is getting eyes. Like, motherfuckers are watching the hell out of this trailer. And it's got some good shit in it. Like, you literally see Sub-Zero freeze Jax's arms and shatter them in the trailer. You see
him freeze the bullet coming out of his gun.
Yeah, see him freeze the bullet coming out of his gun.
That was more cool.
You see Sub-Zero do a whole bunch of cool shit, because you also see Sub-Zero fighting Scorpion, and he stabs him in the neck, and as the blood goes up in the air, he freezes it, turns that into a knife, and stabs it with his own blood. That is some ice cold shit right there from Sub-Zero. Like, there's just some really cool sequences in this trailer, and it's really our first good look at what this movie's going to be. And it just looks fantastic. I was actually, honestly, slightly disappointed when I saw the trailer, because I'm a huge fan of Lewis Tan. He is one of the coolest martial artists working in the film industry today. He's on, what is that show? The Wu Assassins. I love him on there. He was Shatterstar in Deadpool 2. That's where a lot of people saw him. He was the coolest character that died really easily.
Oh, he was the one that was better than you at everything.
Yeah, better than you at everything. Yeah, and Lewis Tan is like he's like a 6'5" world-class martial artist that's a good actor. Like, he is better than you at everything. He's fucking great. But yeah, like, he's in Into the Badlands, and now Mortal Kombat. He was the drunken monk in Iron Fist. Like, he's been in a whole bunch of really good stuff, and his level of martial arts and fight choreography that brings to screen is fantastic. The one thing I was kind of sad about is that apparently he's this new character, Mark Cole, and so he's not a character from Mortal Kombat that we know. And like, that was the only thing I'm watching the trailer. I'm like, oh, he's a new character? Like, I don't know. He could have been anybody. He could have been Shang Tsung. He could have been Kung Lao. He could have been Liu Kang. He could have been fucking Kano. I don't give a shit. But
Liu Kang being 6'5", that'd be a little bit on the weird side.
I don't
A
know.
little bit. I would still allow it, but it would still be
Yeah.
weird.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's not disappointment, because like, I got to figure whatever role he's playing, it seems like he's the main character. So like, he seems like he's going to be the audience's introduction into the Mortal Kombat world, which, hey, you got to have that character that brings the audience in. And if that's how they're going to use Lewis Tan, and we get to see a bunch of Lewis Tan fighting, awesome. Because every time this man is on screen doing martial arts, it makes it look incredibly good. He's a super gifted athlete, and he's a hellaciously fun actor to watch. So I'm excited about it. And yeah, apparently a lot of other people are, with 166 million and counting views of the new trailer for Mortal Kombat. Like, people are excited about this, probably more so than they've been. Because, I mean, let's be honest. The first one hit really hard, but the second and third, there's a reason that people make fun of video game movies, and a lot of those have to deal with the words Mortal Kombat.
What is the third Mortal Kombat movie?
Didn't they do a third one?
No.
I never watched any of them, so I'm lost.
The Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Was Annihilation just so bad that I've thought that it's two different bad movies in my head?
Probably.
It could be. But,
Now,
I mean,
there is one thing they need to bring back from the original movie. The song.
Yeah.
It had.
That's something they need to bring back. 100%. It needs to be in the credits at the very least.
Yeah,
it needs to be on the soundtrack.
If you haven't heard the soundtrack from the original Mortal Kombat, like, the original Mortal Kombat soundtrack was, I think it was one of the number one selling albums that year. Like, it was a damn good soundtrack.
That techno song is the best. I want to hear it now. It's on
awesome.
Spotify, sadly.
Yeah, from a Cinnamon Blend article I found out. Yeah, so with over 116 million views within its first week, the Red Band Mortal Kombat trailer has become the most viewed Red Band trailer of all time per Deadline. Previews surpassed the 4-day marks of Logan and Deadpool 2. And furthermore, Mortal Kombat trailer trended in 52 markets on YouTube and 28 markets on Twitter. Yeah, so like it was literally trending worldwide. It's got the most views of any Red Band trailer ever. Like, people are fucking excited to see a really well done Mortal Kombat movie, which, I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like, they did that little like mini TV series on YouTube or whatever, where Michael Jai White was Jax, and it was more of like a murder investigation. It came across as like more like a dark cop show. But like people were super interested in that, and it did really well. They did the cartoon, and people really liked that. It's one of those things where, I mean, especially like for people my age, growing up in the 90s where Mortal Kombat became this giant juggernaut for a while. It was the biggest game in the world. You could not go anywhere without hearing about Mortal Kombat. And so, I mean, the idea that like
not even from Congress.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, it was everywhere. I mean, I think
That's
they're
why we have
11.
ESRB.
The new one is what, the 11th Mortal Kombat or the 12th Mortal Kombat game? Like
the next one that's coming out, the current one is the 11th one. The next
current
one
one is
will be
11.
the 12th
Okay.
one.
Yeah, so they're 11 games into their franchise. Like Mortal Kombat is definitely not going away. And yeah, I mean, with this level of popularity, like this movie's gonna make some good money.
Actually, you know what? I don't agree with that numbering either, because that means they're counting Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, and I don't count that as like a Mortal, like in the main canon of the games. I don't know why it's counted.
I don't know.
Oh well.
That's up to them. But yeah, I mean, yeah, 11 games in, like that's a lot of games for any franchise to go that far. But yeah, so Mortal Kombat is on its way. And yeah, for those of us that, if you have HBO Max, that will be your movie for April, I think, that appears in the theater. At the same time, you can just watch it for free that month on HBO Max if you're already paying $15. So you can pay $15 to go get a ticket to go see a movie in a theater, or you can pay $15 to watch HBO Max for an entire month and watch everything you want to watch on HBO for a month.
Then you can watch the Snyder Cut 6 times if you want.
And or just, watch Godzilla vs. Kong 60 times.
Snyder Cut. Watch the Snyder Cut.
I mean, the trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong, it does have Kong pretty much having the hammer Thor.
He's bringing an axe to a fist fight, man. I got $5 on the monkey. You heard me.
Touch that one.
That was my news.
In relation to Mortal Kombat, I think I just saw a news article. It said that fatalities weren't even. They didn't think that was going to be found for years.
Yeah. Oh, they don't know how kids are in arcades back in the day.
Right.
Everything gets found quick.
Everything does.
Yeah, but how would someone even do that? Like I remember one of those
Just
basic
messing with
ones, the
button
Scorpion.
combos.
Just you have to be so distant. You have to put down, 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 and then one of the kick buttons, and that's one of his. At least that
Yeah.
was in one of the.
Yeah, people just try stuff, especially back in the arcade days. Yeah, people just tried stuff.
Fuck that shit! I'm just uppercutting this bitch.
And
That's
I did have
finish
one
him.
other thing. It's not much of a news story, but DBD has started their new teaser campaign for whatever the new Killer Survivor, whatever it's going to be. So far, it's very weird. We've gotten kind of a small techno song leak. Behavior actually changed the name of their account. So at Dead by Behavior is the Twitter account for the company, but they've changed the name of their account to Magnum Opus. And the banner is now Mighty One Entertainment. And you have a photo of what is supposedly, I guess, like this. I can't tell if it's supposed to be like the CEO of a company or if it's supposed to be like a weird headshot of a DJ. Like, I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be, but
I
it's
got
their
it.
idea of a teaser trailer.
I got it. I know who it is. Who just retired?
Is it Daft Punk?
Daft Punk.
Yeah.
New Killers. Daft Punk.
I mean,
I
they got the
mean-
twins, so they know you can do two.
I mean,
I've heard worse theories.
it would be pretty
Yeah.
awesome, wouldn't it?
Their account just keeps tweeting out weird photos of like a cup of coffee or like an espresso coffee with Mighty One Entertainment on it, and a shot of what looks like almost like a pop star in like a weird blue and purple outfit. But yeah, I don't know. Behavior's just being weird. I don't know.
Oh,
what
it's what's her name from Carol and Tuesday? I can't remember the character's name. Oh, if you haven't watched Carol and Tuesday, I highly recommend that anime.
I don't know.
It's
what
on
that is.
Netflix. Great
So-
fucking music is what it is.
We're getting teases, and like there's in the Dead by Daylight community there is a big thing where someone had mentioned there being something about what was it, space stars being involved in the anniversary, where people are hoping that we might actually get the xenophobe or xenomorph and Ripley for the anniversary when it comes up on the 5th year anniversary. As much as I would love that, I don't think they're going to get that. They're going to snag that IP since Disney just bought it because they took over Fox, so they own Alien. That would be a huge IP win. I mean, if they get it, awesome. If we get the Xenomorph as a killer and Ripley as a survivor, like that would be fantastic.
You got a
for
better
Dead by
chance of them
Daylight.
showing up in Smash Brothers than you do in anything else. And I say that
Very
mostly jokingly, but
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, they can't because it's not a video game character. That is a criteria for to be showing up in Smash Brothers.
Brother.
Okay, sorry.
That's why you're never going to see Goku in there.
I was trying to make it
Yeah.
mostly a joke, but and to also
Oh, yeah.
say that it was incredibly unlikely.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
No.
very, very unlikely. But yeah, when I heard somebody talk about it, it's like that, man. I mean, they have the Demogorgon. Like, it wouldn't be that hard to do a version of the Xenomorph with, just making changes to the Demogorgon itself.
From
So, like,
what
it would
I've
be really cool.
heard,
But
they really don't want to do like monsters. They want to do like human killers.
yeah,
And the one caveat was Demogorgon. That was the one time they
Yeah.
actually did a monster. The only time they ever actually
and
done
it
like
is,
a
and
monster.
it is humanoid. It is still very humanoid. It walks on 2 feet. It has arms and hands.
Are we talking
like
about Demogorgon or Xenomorph?
Well, I mean, Demogorgon, because it doesn't have a tail. It doesn't have, a dual mouth. It doesn't. I mean, it has the weird head, but other than that, it is basically humanoid.
You're humanoid.
Yeah, most days. Most days.
We
I'm
called it a
fairly
creature a couple times, but I'm happy
Yeah.
to call
Willie, you're a creature.
human. Yeah, so I mean, DVDs, they're teasing stuff. We'll probably find out pretty soon what's actually coming down for the next chapter. They did a bug fix, and it didn't fix much. The game might be the glitchiest it's ever been right now. It's really bad. Oh, but also, yeah, I guess, getting into what I'm into, last night, Jana actually played with Spooky Loops, and he let her go at the end of the game. He was playing a creepy Nightgown Myers. And
Is a YouTuber or streamer?
yeah, he's a Twitch streamer with a very large audience. But yeah, she got the rank 1 killer let her go at the end of the match. She was the last character alive, let her get the door and actually escape. And then at the summary, we saw the killer's name was Spooky Loops. So like, wait, is that actually him? And yeah, she tweeted at him, and he responded today, yeah, that was me. She's like, hey, thanks. You actually paced the game and made it fun, and you weren't a jerk. You weren't a jerk.
Well, was she working on her gin, not getting into trouble?
I don't know what. I was reading most of the time, actually, during that match.
So was
But
Willie.
yeah, she did escape.
He was
she did
reading
escape.
too.
Yeah. Wait, no, Willie can't read. We know that.
Willie can read.
I can read now at a 6th grade level.
He plays JRPGs. Willie can read.
That's fair. That's more fair.
Yeah, you wouldn't play a JRPG if you couldn't read. Let's be honest here.
You also got to do math in that too.
Well, there's 16 pages of text going by, and I can't tell what's going on. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know who's talking
Where
to
am I
who or
supposed to
what they're
go?
talking about.
I'll just go to every town until something triggers.
Yeah. I'll just walk up and talk to every person until the
Oh
story
my
moves
god,
forward.
that's the worst thing ever. I'm never gonna
Yeah.
do that. I'm never gonna go around talking to everybody in town. Fuck that shit. Never again.
That being said, I think that does wrap up our news portion of the show and additional tangents associated with it. So it's time to wrap things up with a little segment called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you guys who are watching live or listening at a later date just what kind of geeky and or nerdy things we've been getting into so that you may want to go check them out yourselves. Mr. Willie D. Nelson, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. So I mentioned it earlier. I haven't been getting into it like recently, but I did watch it all earlier. Carol and Tuesday. It's on Netflix. It's an anime. It's great. I think it's created by the same creator as Cowboy Bebop, and it pretty much is the second half of the first season is pretty much Mars Got Talent or Mars Idol. The story takes place on Mars, even though that's not really relevant because it just looks like Earth, and you don't really see that it's Mars, really, so it doesn't really matter. So who cares? But the music in it is great. The whole soundtrack is on Spotify. Highly recommended. It's just beautiful music. Loneliest Girl is probably one of my favorite songs from there. It's the song they do in the first episode. And Move Mountains is also another great one. So much good music in that entire thing. Like, highly recommended, just for the music alone. The singers do a fan-fucking-tastic job. And also, right after this podcast, I will be leaving to go out of town. I'm going to the Outer Banks.
Ooh.
OBX, bitches.
What you getting into there?
Chilling out with some friends. That's pretty much it.
Taking your PlayStation, getting some Jackbox gaming into while you got a crowd there.
I'm glad you brought that up because there was another game I found that is like Jackbox games, but made by a whole nother company.
You have my interest.
Played by the same way. It's called Use Your Words. It pretty much a lot of it is it pulls up like what's that term when movies are so old they're in the public domain.
Public domain.
Gotcha.
They use public domain movies, and they put like a lot of them are foreign, so they have subtitles. And it says, and it cuts off the subtitle and says, fill in what they're saying here. So it gives you a little bit, and it just says, fill in what they're saying here, and you type it in. Instead of going jackbox.tv, the website, you have to go to wordsgame.lol. Whatever.
Okay.
And yeah, so you know it's made by a different company completely. But it's same idea as Jackbox games. And it was just as good. I can't wait to play that with some friends. I finally got to play it like 2 weeks ago, finally, with some people. So, yeah. So I finally get to play with some more people. Looking forward to it. Earn some of the trophies, because why not?
Not bad.
And then, so I'll be taking that just for the Jackboxing and whatnot. And so I won't be here next week.
But the week after, he'll return for Unprotected Advice with Willie D. Nelson. It's back. We have some submitted stuff, and I've pulled a couple things, so we should have 2 or 3 things ready for the advice of one Mr. William D. Nelson.
Yeah. Oh. I will be prepared to give all the advice.
It's what the people want. It's what they're asking for.
Is it, though?
It is. They're asking for it.
I mean, I'm happy they are. I don't know. My advice is pretty rudimentary, and I mean, it just makes sense.
It's what the people want, Willie, is unprotected advice.
No, what the people want is unprotected sex.
Well, that too.
I'm not
It is fun.
wrong.
But
Not
it is what the
wrong.
people want.
I'll give it to them. That's what they want. I'll give it to them.
It is what they want. So we give the people what they want. It's what we're here for.
Is that what we're here for? Is that the reason why? Is that my meaning in life?
That is your meaning in life. It's one of the
Chris,
things
you
we're
just
here
gave
for.
me meaning.
Oh,
glad.
It's
no.
not just to pass the butter.
Thank you.
It's worse than
Thank
feeding
you,
him. Now he's
Butterbot.
never going to go away.
Poor Willie, he's dying.
I really am useless.
No, you provide okay advice on a podcast that has less than 100 subscribers.
Actually, I give serious advice because I don't actually make jokingness of it.
Yes.
No, I don't.
You do not.
And also, I'm going to say again something I haven't said in a while. Fuck you, the producers or whoever the studio behind Now You See Me Too, for not having the name of Now You Don't.
No, you don't.
Go fuck yourselves.
What brings this up? Did you just watch Now You See Me Too again?
Oh no, I just look it over in my movies over there.
Okay.
Worst
Now You See Me
sequel
Too
name
staring
ever.
right at me. It's just the
Yeah.
one that spot out. The fucking Blu-ray cover looks amazing. We'll give it that. They did a
How the hell was that
fantastic
movie
job.
not called Now You Don't? Like,
I mean, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. Both of them are.
Because
I'm
people
surprised by how good they were.
people
Fail.
wouldn't know
Fail.
what it was.
Nobody
easily.
knew what the first one was.
Live, Die, Repeat. No, we don't want Die in the title. How about
Edge of Forever. That's it.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that seems like a good
Edge
fucking
of
title.
bullshit.
And now look at every fucking movie case that it comes in. Live, die, repeat.
Yep.
Colon.
Hey, I'm sorry. What? Birds of Prey and the what? No, let's just call it Harley Quinn. We're good
Nope.
here.
I'm
The
going to call it
stars
by its full title.
Harley Quinn.
Birds of Prey and the
Did they change
Fantabulous
the title
Emancipation
2
of
weeks
the
after it was
one
in theaters?
Harley Quinn.
Yeah, after
They
2
tried.
weeks.
Change it.
After 2
They
weeks,
tried.
they shortened the title.
Yeah, I do believe it's still called the original title even now, which is just pretty much Harley Quinn as Deadpool in a Deadpool movie.
That's fair.
That's pretty much what it is.
Well, Willie, we hope you enjoy your trip to the Outer Banks. I hope it's
You don't have to tell me.
a fun
There's
adventure.
a hot tub.
Willie, don't get anyone pregnant.
In the hot tub. Gonna make you sweat.
Don't.
Getting in.
No, you can't get pregnant if you're in water. That's how that works.
Not how that
This
works.
is good unprotected advice.
Oh, man.
Especially hot tub water that kills the
So, so next weekend, Willie will be impregnating somebody. All right.
All right, then.
Glad we won't be there for that.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I'll have a camera.
All right, I'll go next with what I've been getting into. I'll keep the list fairly short. I think I talked about this the last time we had a show, but I can't remember or not. I have been playing, video game-wise, pretty much just Hades on the Switch. I am addicted to Hades. That's all I have played. I've put hours upon hours into it, and I have come this close to beating the game. And for a roguelite, that's actually pretty good for me because I'm generally pretty terrible at them. I got to the final boss, got the health halfway worked down before I finally died. Went, shit! And then I've only made it back once since then. It's tough, but it's really fun. I really enjoy it. I got it for $20 on sale on the Switch. I know it's also out on PC too. But if you like roguelites, it's really fun. The gameplay is fun. The art style is really good. I have literally no complaints about the game. I understand why it got Game of the Year in 2020 from a bunch of different publications. Tons of fun. In regards to stuff that I've been watching, I don't even know really, but the one thing I've been watching consistently is AEW Dynamite because I like my professional wrestling. And this next weekend, not this weekend, but the weekend after this, I'll be watching their pay-per-view so I can see the exploding barbed wire death match.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Does the barbed wire explode, or is there other explosions?
There's landmines.
Yeah.
The ropes are replaced with barbed wire, and there's landmines outside the ring that explode.
That's a hell of a lumberjack match.
Evidently, it's a thing that has been done in Japan quite a few times. It's kind of new to North American
Yeah, I know.
television.
I've
It's
seen
a
it.
classic Japanese death match.
I know.
Yeah, so I've been watching a bunch of that. They've been setting up things really well for the pay-per-view. The pay-per-view card is stacked. This evening at 7 p.m. Eastern, I will be watching on Bleacher Report Live, because that's the only place you can watch it right now. They're doing the next round of the Women's Eliminator Tournament on the BR Live app, plus a 6-man tag match out of Japan, out of the folks that didn't advance in the tournament there for the women's title. So I figure what the hell, that should be fun. At the very least, I get to watch Thunder Rosa kick some ass some more. And Thunder Rosa, she's awesome. And
Hell
she's
yeah.
a badass.
Very true. Very true.
Willie's still sleeping. Continuing with...
Wake me up when September
Yeah, you can't do
ends.
that. You can't do that.
That's good. No, it's under 3 minutes.
Other stuff I've been getting into is I watched the AEW 2 Dot Show, which was their web show for their upcoming games that are coming out. So that includes the General Manager game that's coming to the cell phones. They showed a preview of that, which looks like it's kind of fun, which kind of ties back into some old games I used to play on the PC, like Electronic Warfare Revenge, I think is what it was called, where you could basically be a booker for a professional wrestling promotion and create your own cards and set up matches and stuff like that. That's seemingly what's coming out for cell phones. I'm intrigued by it. They also have their own console game that is coming out, which they haven't announced any release dates or anything like that, but showed some cool stuff on how they did the sound design for it by, putting people in a ring, putting a microphone underneath and having them fall down in the same spot so that they would get the different ring sounds when people fall and the crashing sounds. That was kind of cool. And they did announce that their casino games app for Double or Nothing was coming out, and it officially launched on Friday, I think it was. And I picked it up and started playing it. I don't understand how it's wrestling related, other than the fact they used the term Double or Nothing like it was in the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And wrestlers are on the splash screen for it. It's basically a casino games app where you can play Texas Hold'em, Blackjack, Baccarat, a whole bunch of other casino games. It's okay. I mean, I have not dropped any real money into it and probably wouldn't drop any real money into it. But it was kind of fun last night. I was playing Texas Hold'em, and one referee from AEW, one Aubrey Edwards, popped into our room and played on our table for about a half hour last night, which was kind of cool.
Nice.
That's sort of how they're helping to promote the game, is those that were helping to develop it, who are names on there, are putting their friend code in and popping into rooms and playing for a little bit. So it was kind of fun to play poker with someone who was managing or overseeing some of the stuff in AEW games. That was cool. So I had fun with that. It's a free download, but I don't really intend to put any real money into it at any point, because casino games are fun to kill a little bit of time here and there, but they're not really fun for me to put money into, because if I'm putting money into casino games, I'm going to an actual casino where I can make money. Or, flame out and lose money, but at least get some free drinks while I'm doing it.
There you go.
Yeah,
Wait, on their casino game, is it something where if you put real money into it, can you win real money?
No, I don't think so. I think it just gives you more chips and stuff like that, and gives you bonus and multipliers and stuff. I didn't dig too deep into it because it was all a moot point. I was like, I'm not putting money into a casino games app. I understand why they put that in there, and that's why they put the game out, is to make money. But that's just a personal thing for me, is I'm not going to put money into a gambling game when there's literally no chance for return for me. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
0 chance.
Yeah. I'll play it, and I'll get the free chips every day so that I can keep playing here and there, and we'll call it a day, and that's all well and good. That's how I look at it. But that's what I'm getting into. Mr. Bachmann, why don't you wrap things up for us?
See, been enjoying a good chunk of Dead by Daylight. Streamed 3 times this week over on my Twitch channel on Kami Gaming at noon Mountain Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Had some fun. Had some good matches. Had some bad matches. Got a little tilted on Wednesday. Did not go well. It's been it's been buggy as shit. I literally had a character where I swung like the trapper's hatchet through their character model like 6 times and couldn't make contact with them. It was ridiculous. But actually, enjoying the hell of it. Played a bunch yesterday with the girlfriend. We were playing Survivor together and got through a ton of the new challenges. Actually, really enjoying the new tome. Tome 6 has been really good. I actually got all of the Survivor and Killer challenges done before the tome released on Tuesday. And then since the tome the new level tier has released, I think I've already got like 8 of the new challenges done. So this one, like, it seems like they finally found a good balance to where the tome challenges aren't so damn hard that, like, I literally just finished one of them from tome 1. Like, there was one I was working on a couple weeks ago after I finished level 1 of tome 6, the current one. And so I go back and you can work on old ones. You don't get rift fragments or rift. The rift is their version of the battle pass. You don't get rift items anymore, but you still get the blood points. So if you go back and do the old challenges that are in the compendium, you can still get extra blood points. So it's, it gives you something to work on if you're not working on anything else. And so, I literally went back and finished one of those super hard ones that was in tome 1 because I never finished it. And so I have tomes 1 and 2 completed now, and I'm working on tome 3. But like 3, 4, and 5, I still have challenges that are uncompleted in all of them. And I'm actually like cruising through the challenges in tome 6 right now because I think they finally hit like the right balance point. Like none of the challenges are like ultra hard. Some of them are definitely difficult. There's ones like, blink twice as the nurse and hit somebody and do that twice in one match as a master killer challenge. Like that's not an easy thing to do as the nurse. But it's also not, do it 4 times or do it 5 times in one match, which some of the earlier challenges seem to be some of the master challenges were just way too complicated, way too difficult. There's one still in, I think it's the Huntress level or the Huntress of the Legion one, where you have to meet like 5 different qualifying things and get 3 kills all within one master challenge. And it's just insane. Some of them were just nuts. But yeah, the new ones they're doing are just they seem to really hit the balance right on them. They're actually fun. Most of the challenges are not super difficult, but they're challenging enough to actually keep you entertained and give you something to do in the game. So I've been really enjoying that. This Rift has the best battle pass they've done so far for Dead by Daylight. There's 13 full costumes in it, and for a game that charges $10 to $20 for every cosmetic costume, being able to get 13 full costumes for characters while paying $10 for the battle pass is the best return on your investment that they've ever had for behavior. So yeah, really enjoying that. And then logging in every day because they've been doing 50,000 blood points every day, and they've extended that I think until the end of next week now. So you end up getting I think it's 1.3 million blood points if you log in every day. And then they did what was it? They've been doing a bunch of codes, and I actually just saw a new one, DJC 2021. So if you do DJC 2021 right now, you get 100,000 blood points in Dead by Daylight. So go into your account, go into the store, pop that sucker in, another 100K. And yeah, they've been doing for the Lunar New Year, giving out outfits, charms. They did a sword for the spirit. I think they've done 4 different just free cosmetics. So it's been cool because they're tossing those out there as well. You know, the community managers trying to do what they can to provide as much fun as possible, while the game designers are trying to go back and fix all the bugs they created with the last update, because the game is the buggiest it's ever been right now since maybe year 1. So yeah, I have to remember that, you know, the game's there to have fun. It's not, you know, can't take it too serious because shit's not working right now in some of the matches. And like, there's been massive disconnects. Lots of people just, you'll start a match 30 seconds in, a character just disappears, like weird stuff happening. But yeah, I mean,
Haru was
they
in the
need
chat
more
room.
patches coming.
Yeah, Haru was in the chat room talking about some of the issues they were having too.
Yeah.
So it seems like it's a rough go right now.
Yeah, it is. It is. I would say this is the buggiest the game has ever been since me and Willie started playing it. So like, it's definitely, I mean, I can see, like, honestly, I heard like Monto flat out on Twitter was like, the game is so bad right now, I'm not going to play it. And this is a guy who basically built his streaming career playing Dead by Daylight.
Damn.
And right now he's playing other games because Dead by Daylight is so buggy. So, I mean, if you're going to play this week or the next couple of weeks while they're, you know, working on the next patch, just know that the game is buggy as shit. Be prepared for it. If you're prepared for it, it makes it a little easier. Other than that, me and the girlfriend watched The Flight Attendant on HBO Max. Kaylee Kuko acting her ass off. We finished that whole show. It is a really entertaining, like, kind of murder mystery show. If you've got HBO Max, I would highly recommend it. It was really entertaining. Her acting in it was amazing. Like, I think it's the first time she's really got to sink her teeth into like some serious dramatic acting.
Murder mystery? I don't remember that in that Denzel Washington movie. Whereas the
flight attendant, not flight attendant. Close, very close. Yeah, definitely a really, really, really good show. And it's awesome too because yeah, they set it up to where it wraps up really nicely. If they don't get a season 2, it has a solid ending. But if they get a season 2, they actually give you a place where the story could go. So it's one of those things where it's open-ended enough to where if they get a second season, awesome. You know where the story is going to continue on. But if the show gets canceled after the end of one season, you're good because there's a solid conclusion at the end of the season, which I love. The writers did a great job wrapping things up. So if it comes back, awesome. If it doesn't, you're good either way. And that's one of my favorite things on a first season of a show is that they can nail that down because that's, you know, writing-wise, that's a hard thing to do. Then also, yeah, Lois and Clark, or Superman and Lois and Clark. Superman and Lois had its premiere on the CW. I watched that. Tyler Hoechlin gets to do more smiling as Superman than Henry Cavill got to do in 3 movies in just his first scene. So it's actually Superman with a heart and hope like it's supposed to be. And it's utterly fantastic. The show is just, it's based more on the Superman family. You find out that Superman and Lois have twin boys, and they are very different boys. They are not identical twins, but they are twins. And they're 2 kids that, you know, definitely see the world differently, and you get introduced to them and then see how like it's going to change the world of Superman. The acting on that show is great. Special effects are really good. I mean, it's the CW's like 19th superhero show. They fucking know what they're doing now. They understand the DC superheroes better than anybody working in their movies does. So they got the shit nailed down. They give you Superman, and it feels like Superman. It's really well done. Tyler Hoechlin is great as his Superman and his Clark. I love the way this guy does the character. And I talked to girlfriend into watching it. She enjoyed it enough that we had talked about, you know, she's like, I like this better than all the Superman movies we've watched because all we had watched was the new DC stuff. And I'm like, well, have you ever actually watched the Superman movie? And she said no. And so last night, we watched the 1978 Richard Donner Superman.
Oh, boy.
And she actually got to rock out and enjoy the Gene Hackman Lex Luthor and fucking, yeah, all the old school, the Margot Kidder, the Christopher Reeves. And yeah, it was just awesome to sit down and just watch the classic Superman. And so, yeah, we enjoyed the hell out of that last night. And I mean, I was telling her as we were watching, I'm like, you know, we found out that Kevin Feige has directors sit down and watch this movie before they make a Marvel film because this is how you make a superhero movie. And as you're watching it, like you're seeing like Margot Kidder and Christopher Reeve playing off each other as Lois and Clark, and you're seeing them smile and enjoy what their characters are doing and flying over Metropolis. And there's just so much heart and fucking like just joy in this movie that it's amazing. And it once again reminds me like what was missing from the Snyder version of Superman. It's missing joy. There's no joy in those films. And a guy that's basically unkillable that can fly around the world should have some fucking joy in his heart. He should sing a song. He should be a little happy. But yeah, so that's what I've been getting into. We watched that and we had ourselves a good night.
No, he should be angry all the time.
2 things.
Nope.
1, so I guess this means Kryptonians have dicks, like normal dicks.
We knew that already.
Yep. And
Did
he
we?
can bang Lois without a kryptonite condom, apparently, because they got 2 kids.
Wouldn't that kill him?
Wouldn't kill him.
And 2 is that show is still not better than the best Superman media ever. And that's Lois and Clark.
I did like some Lois and
I
Clark.
did
That
enjoy
was-
That is
too.
the best.
I loved that show when it was on.
Fucking Dean Cain, motherfucker.
But yeah, it's Superman and Lois is looking good. I really enjoyed the pilot. I'm excited to see where they go with it because over the course of the pilot, which is basically like an hour and a half movie, like it's long as hell. You get a whole bunch of changes to the world of Superman and Lois, and basically at the end of the pilot, you're seeing the start of where the show is going to go. And so, like, I'm really interested to see what they do with it because, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really fantastic show. I mean, yeah, all the Berlantiverse stuff, like, they're like 13 shows in now. They know what they're fucking doing. They have their formula down, just like the MCU movies have a formula. The DC shows on the CW have a formula. They know how to follow it, and they know how to make great television. So, I mean, Superman and Lois looks like it's going to be just as good, if not better, than The Flash and some of the other shows. So, I'm excited for it. I really enjoyed the pilot.
I've got to record it. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
It's good stuff.
I'll get there at
I
some
don't
point in
have the
time.
CW app, so fuck it.
The CW app is free, but you can't get it on PlayStation for some damn reason.
Yeah, so fuck it.
Sorry,
Yeah, I have it on my
It's on my
Roku.
TV. Maybe it's on my TV. I don't know.
What kind of TV do you have?
LG.
I
Oh,
think
if it's an LG
if it's a
Smart
smart
TV,
TV, I think it does.
you should be able to get it. Yeah, it should
I
be
don't
in
know.
the
It doesn't have
marketplace.
HBO Max.
But does it
Jesus.
have Paramount Plus?
No, nobody needs that. So go away, Paramount Plus.
Nothing has it yet because it doesn't exist yet. You fell into my trap.
I said I don't know. That was a trap. How'd I fall into it? I'm still sitting.
Because I said so.
Fair enough.
You're sitting now because you fell.
Into the trap.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome.
Is that your hand on my ass, Chris?
Welcome to the machine, Willie.
Is that the trap? Was your hand on my ass?
My hands are right here. How could they be on your tushy? My hands are
Quantum
right here.
physics, bitch. Quantum
are they
fucking
here?
physics.
My hands are exposed and on camera for those that are watching.
Quantum physics.
That doesn't make any sense. But you know what else doesn't make sense? This damn show. But
face.
thank you everyone for joining us each week as we
That's
get
true.
into our weekly geeky shenanigans. We do stream this live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at geeks.live, the official streaming home of the Gonna Geek Network. While you're there, you can scroll down to the bottom of the page, see our calendar of upcoming live events. If you are watching this show live on Sunday, February 28th, you can come back later this evening / early afternoon for the live recording of Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D., where they'll be discussing the season 1, episode 8 of WandaVision, the one that we talked about at the top of the show. They will go into a much deeper dive on WandaVision because, you know, their whole show is dedicated to talking the MCU. We just talk about it.
We're
from time to
not
time.
deep. Are you serious?
No, we hit the shallow end.
I was told it was a pretty good size.
You were lied to.
Fuck.
They didn't want you to feel bad.
Hey, 3 thumbs up for this week's show, guys. 3 thumbs up. It's been a good one.
Mm-hmm. 3 thumbs up.
Before we
Willie's
shut down
rock
the...
hard.
Oh God, it is rock hard. Oh, that hurt my finger. Fuck.
Oh, dear Lord. Before we shut down this show and get out of here, do you guys have any final thoughts for our audience? Anything you
Go
want
get
to
your
share?
blood point.
For your audio listeners, I flicked my dick.
That really
Go get
didn't
your
need
blood
to be
point.
said. Anything else? Anyone got anything else?
Don't flick your dick. Flick your dick.
R.I.P. Anthem. You
Yeah,
screwed
R.I.P.
us.
my
R.I.P.
dick.
Anthem. R.I.P. the last game I'm ever going to pre-order.
On that note, we are going to get out of here. We will see you all next week. Willie is out. It'll be Bachmann and I holding down the fort. And until then,
I'm sorry.
see you guys next
disappoint
week.
Everybody next week.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.